This is an Orthodox rap song. His name was Tommy Lee. He stood about 6'3", angel dust, dark liquor. He loved that weed. That was his own personal trinity, and it had been since the age of 16. He had come from a broken family. His mother was purchased. She didn't come for free. She traveled overseas. That didn't stop the boy's father from taking a steadfast leave. So Tommy Lee grew up without. He was young and dumb and full of doubt. Expected to take the lead as a child. He wasn't a want, he was a need. He was violent on his own. There was not much more to do in poverty. His blood ran cold, glistening grenadine. He started robbing folks, some who he had even known. See, Tommy was bold. You could really see the sin in him. As he grew old, all hope ran thin in him. Taking bath salts, not soap, you could really see the sin in him. Islam would say he's got a jinn in him. I'd say that's a pretty good synonym. It must be something with his soul. He's not a bad kid, he's just playing a role. He became addicted to penitentiary and dope. His mother should have known. He'd been showing signs since elementary. Day and night, mother was praying on her knees with her prayer rope directly in front of the iconography. Hung over her head was a worn-in satin sheet. She was dull all over, but the linen gleamed. Only on Sunday would she ever speak. She sat on the sideline, she'd sing and she'd read. Tommy went up until the age of 18, I suppose, over familial legalities. He hated that church. He cringed as the bells would ring, much less exciting than a siren's ding. His mother, however, she'd never change a thing. She was just grateful to be reading Kings, a Soviet woman set free, with only a troubled child to keep her company. One day he noticed his mother had been given a church key. As she was an active member of the community, late night he entered fervently, crossing himself. Then he bowed down to thy majesty right before unzipping his duffel bag and fleece. It was 12 in the morning. His third day with no sleep, all doped up on methamphetamines. He emptied the place in only a few rounds. He even took the wedding crowns. That was the house that baptized the kid. Well, that was then, and this is now. The church was desolate with no crowd. When all is lost, is God still found? Right next door was a house with a crimson red painted door where the priest lay alone on the floor, surrounded by holiday decor, unchanged since 2004. In his slumber, he would snore until he awoke. He was sleeping no more. There the priest sees the thief. Mass Tommy Lee's yells, "Father, please don't call the police, it's me," all while dismantling the church's centerpiece. The same one that had been upheld for century. In his sanctuary, he's now lost for words. The father of the church was not accompanied by a deacon. Something worse, half awake cause he had just awoke from sleeping. It was the only time he had rushed through the doors, seething. In a defensive run, he grabbed hold of his gun, pierced Tommy Lee on both feet. Then Tommy started bleeding, numb. Because he already had some rum, he started going berserk, going dumb. He cried under his mask. Felt his feelings some. His life flashed before his eyes. He had already come undone. Memories started creeping in, which made him bite his tongue, for he had acted without reason. He died in the same place where him and his mother would grieve in, where they'd spend every Easter weekend. When life didn't hold so much meaning, it was too late. He was eternally sleeping. The church didn't bury him. His mother held a private meeting. Despite his will to succumb, his mother really needed him. She stopped going to the church. She didn't even have to bring the key back to them. Soon after she started reading, she stopped her kneeling. She was skin and bones because there was nobody home to feed anything. That's the story of Tommy Lee, so the end, what a travesty.